The original Star Wars trilogy, a story about redemption. What exactly did George Lucas accomplish with his original trilogy, and why do we hold it at such high esteem? For me, it's for its originality, but not with the plot. In fact, Lucas is among countless of other storytellers that have plagiarized from one of the oldest stories in history, the hero's journey. No, the originality comes from how he made these stories his own. He created entire worlds with the purpose of serving the plot. Realistic and distinct planets with their own personality and their own history that have been lived in for generations and that will continue to be lived in for generations after. Now, one could argue that Lucas built upon other ideas from other storytellers, notably Frank Herbert's Dune and the serials of Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. And of course they would be right. Certainly Lucas was inspired by these worlds, but to say that he ripped them off is disingenuous. Lucas stood on the shoulders of these giants and took his story a little further. He added to the collective mythology of the fantasy genre and helped evolve it. With the original trilogy, George Lucas made George Lucas films. And say what you will about the prequels, at the very least, they are Star Wars movies that succeeded with his voice and failed on his vision. What more can you ask from an artist? And then in 2012, along came a mouse. And in its first act of aggression, it hired a man so devoid of original thought that his very soul has been replaced by the avatar of two other men. And for all his wealth and all his resources, what did this mouse manage to produce? A remake of the original. Imagine being given the helm of the biggest and most cherished franchise in cinematic history, only to reverse course and tread in the wake of those that came before you. With Episode 7, J.J. Abrams made a George Lucas film. And as a matter of fact, with Super 8, J.J. made a Steven Spielberg's film. As an artist, if I was ever told that I painted a Rembrandt or a Picasso or Van Gogh, I would be devastated. The only person that could paint a Picasso is Picasso. That's not to say that I've never copied the masters. I copied the masters with the intent of learning from them, and never with the intent of putting my name on them. JJ should be embarrassed of himself. He stood on the shoulders of a giant, not to see a little further, but to be a tiny parrot, mindlessly regurgitating what its master has to say. There comes a time when an artist has produced a big enough body of work that you're forced to make a conclusion on their originality. And I've come to such a conclusion. J.J. Abrams is a hack, a man of very little talent, who seems to think that suspense in itself somehow equals good filmmaking.
The withholding of information, doing that intentionally, is much more engaging, whether it represents hope, it represents potential. And what I love about this box, and what I realized I sort of do in whatever it is that I do, is I find myself drawn to infinite possibility and that sense of potential. And I realized that mystery is the catalyst for imagination. Now, it's not the most groundbreaking idea, but when I started to think that maybe there are times when mystery is more important than knowledge, I started getting interested in this.
What JJ doesn't seem to understand is that you actually have to have the goods. Because when you're caught buck naked with your pants down, you're gonna be left holding your nuts and an empty box. But enough about this hack. Let's move on to this goofy looking mofo. Rian Johnson, the man most singly responsible for the deaths of the Star Wars saga. And it's just not that he destroyed the franchise, it's the manner in which he did it. His careless and wanton approach to these beloved characters is the reason he'll be remembered in infamy. But what else would you expect from a corporate shill that only has one purpose: to placate his new masters?
You called for me, sir?
Ryan, aren't you forgetting something?
Forgetting something?
Yeah, there's a certain formality when you step into my office.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not clear on...
I'm gonna need you to take a knee, Ryan.
Oh, of course. You know, the thing with that is that I don't feel comfortable.
Oh, you don't feel comfortable?
Yeah.
You know who else didn't feel comfortable? The head of ESPN. Do you know what he's doing now? He's a sports anchor in Podunk, Nebraska. Huh?
That's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Terrible. It's a shame.
It is.
Uh-huh.
And
Philippians 2:10-11.
Huh?
Every knee will bow. Now, bow.
of course, I'm sorry.
That's better. Now, do you know why I've summoned you here today, Ryan?
No.
Well, I just saw your first cut of The Last Jedi, Ryan.
And I hope you liked it.
You hope I liked it, Ryan? What is there to like? What happened to my vision?
Your visions?
Yes, my vision.
I thought
What did you think?
I could put my vision into this movie, and
Well, your vision's dog shit, Ryan.
it's dog shit.
Yeah, it's dog shit. Why are you diverting from my script?
Your script. I thought we had...
Do you remember when we got together at Disney? All 17 of us, and we wrote that script?
I remember we went over points.
No, that script was written in stone, and I can't have you diverting from it.
Script was like 20 pages. There was no movie there.
No movie. Do you remember that scene with the porgs? You can build an entire film around that scene.
Around the porgs.
Yes, around the porgs.
A Star Wars movie.
Oh, yes, a Star Wars movie. They're from outer space, aren't they? They appeal to children, don't they?
Yes, sir, but that doesn't make them Star Wars.
That makes them money, Ryan. It makes us money.
I'm sure the porgs will do that. And I can find a place for them, but it's a small spot.
A small spot.
I'm trying to tell us.
I want them to fly the Millennium Falcon, Ryan.
You want them to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Yes. It'll be a cute moment that I can put in the trailer. We designed those porgs for maximum commerciality. When a kid sees one, he's gonna want to pester his mom to buy him one. That's why they gotta be in the movie. Do you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Do you want this film to be a success? Don't you?
Yes, of course.
Do you want your next film to be a success?
My next film?
Yes. You do plan on having a career after Star Wars, don't you?
Of course.
What is your idea for your next film, anyways?
It's a murder mystery,
Uh-huh.
but with a modern take.
With a modern take?
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? How do you take a modern take on a murder mystery?
Yeah.
So how is that modern?
Because the way you shoot it, the scene, the tone, I'm actually very excited about it.
I think it's just a murder mystery, Ryan. And you're trying to dress it up. You got no film there.
I don't,
You don't. Not without my help.
without your help.
Yes. Do you know what I'm getting at here, Ryan?
I think I do.
You want that film greenlit, don't you?
Yes,
You want that film to be a success, don't you?
I do.
Or maybe no one's interested in that film. Maybe a little mouse runs around Hollywood making sure that film doesn't get greenlit.
No, no, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that, do we, Ryan?
No, we don't.
Yeah, now you're getting it. What do we want, Ryan?
Porgs.
That's right, Ryan. We want porgs. What else do we want?
Giant super Death Stars.
Yes, giant super Death Stars are familiar. What else is familiar?
Exploding planets.
Yes, and
And, lightsaber.
lightsaber duels. Very good.
Yeah.
And what about the blue milk, Ryan?
Yeah. There'll be blue milk.
Yes. Not only will there be blue milk, who's gonna drink the milk?
Luke's
Skywalker's gonna drink the milk.
Yes, he'll drink it.
And how is he gonna drink the milk?
How? He's gonna milk it.
What's he gonna milk, Ryan?
He's going to milk.
He's gonna milk the big space cow, Ryan.
He's gonna milk the big space cow.
And he's gonna like it, ain't he?
We're all gonna like it.
Yes, we're all gonna like it. I think we understand each other now.
Yeah, I understand.
Disney, for all its innovation and all its great films, still has one fatal flaw. It has an image to upkeep. But we recognize the mouse by his paw. I'm kind of curious. What was in that box anyways? Oh, it's dog shit.